Hey folks, so I've been studying more of the ancient Egyptian Book of Two Ways, 4,000-year-old coffin text that has maps of the world basically. I mean, it's usually described as just being maps of the underworld, and it tends to be that America, the Egyptian, the Afro-Eurasian underworld is the main part that's painted, that's where the coastlines are actually painted, but it also has a bunch of other stuff in it for the rest of the world. So this seems to be Australia. So this is at the end of, like, it's on the same level as America. It's just painted just south of America. Like, just south of America is the section that has Antarctica and the Falklands. And then just south of that is this section. So it seems to be, I basically assumed, because this guy is one of the biggest gatekeepers in the whole book, that he has to be Australia, because what else is a large, all these gatekeepers are land masses. So anyway, this seems to be Australia holding Sulawesi. Seems that Sulawesi is kind of the mascot of this area. So, and then I think this is Kalimantan holding Sulawesi, and this is probably, this might be the Philippines. These two, I think, are the Philippines and Papua. I'm not sure which is which. And then this is New Zealand, with like his belt representing the channel between the two islands. So yeah, other than Kalimantan holding Sulawesi, which is closest to it, the rest of these, they're pretty nondescript. I mean, there might be a way to fully decipher which is which, but anyway, whatever. Hard to know about these two, but this is probably Kalimantan, this is almost certainly New Zealand, and this is Australia. So anyway, so I'd just been trying to figure out, like, at first I thought the reason that it was a horned animal was that if you include the island here, Tasmania, that's right off the coast, it kind of looks like this. It could look like this is a horn and that is a horn. So I was thinking that at first that's why he's a horned animal. But then I realized that it's probably not that, especially due to the type of horns that he has. So anyway, basically I finally realized why. And it's very confusing, I give myself a lot of slack for taking a while on this one, because it was faced the other way. Like, this is basically retrograde. And it's the only retrograde gatekeeper on this section of the map. Because on the other map of Seppi, basically a lot of the gatekeepers are retrograde, i.e. flipped, kind of like, basically this guy was originally, as I showed you, he's looking to the right, but you have to flip him to the left for his face to be, this peninsula. I'm not sure what is basically Northern Australia. There's probably a name for that peninsula, but it's right up close to Papua. But yeah, so eventually I finally realized that his horns are the Great Barrier Reef, because usually when horns are just one line, it signifies that they're an island chain or a river. I mean, it depends. There's a bunch of different kinds, but Like, for instance, when their tail is just a line, it tends to be an island chain, like Japan or Britain. All right, so anyway, so that's, this is his face, and you can see it like goes out and then comes back and then goes up. Like there's that kind of crease right there. So I think that's this right here. It goes out and then it goes up here. And then, so the Great Barrier Reef goes, out on to the front, but it goes much further to the back here. And so yeah, I was just looking at that on the map, and I was like, what is that? Are those, because they didn't come up on the map as anything, like they weren't signified as islands or anything. So, but eventually I realized it's probably the Great Barrier Reef. So I Googled the Great Barrier Reef, and sure enough, that it's that thing. So, anyway, and he's sitting, so his legs seem to be Cobourg Peninsula there, which is basically like right there. And then he's holding Sulawesi, which is just like the regional mascot that kind of everybody holds just to signify where they are. And it's in the Book of Two Ways. And sorry, just all right. So then thoughts, Australia. I'm not sure what the text says. It won't even give me the text for this area. Or, yeah, like I can't find a place where it tells me for this map what the text is for that area. Because every map has different, organization of text. And most of the maps have no illustrated gatekeepers in them. So, anyway, when I find out the text that's actually accompanies this, I'll share it. And there is actually another peninsula on the other side that's similarly kind of like some legs. So it could be that this is one of those repeating shapes that takes on a significance in certain areas. So anyway, there's Australia. He's like seems to be the Lord of Southeast Asia somewhat, or the Lord of the South Pacific. And this is another comparison of Antarctica where I actually, put in I expanded the Berkner Island, which is the head of West Antarctica, and it is right there. It's like right there, basically. So, like this is the original. Like it's hard to see how did it get from there to there. But I think all the features on this, even though they're exaggerated, they're all based on somehow real features here. I just don't even know how they could see. They must have used some kind of technology like the Egyptologists. I think maybe it was DeBuck who made this reconstruction to see their faces and arms and everything behind the damaged part. So anyway, it just makes it pretty obvious, like this is the face of East Antarctica. It's this thing here. It even has a mouth. So it's called Coates Land. And there's kind of a little ear here. But the fact that his head goes back instead of just down like a normal one, I think is trying to hint at how much land there is back here. And then this guy, his mouth is clearly this thing. Kind of looks like a early Disney character, like like a Mickey Mouse or something, but without the ears. And then this is his ear. And I'm not even sure if this whole thing is his ear or it's also his hair. Like it seems like there's the ear, and then behind the ear is all his hair. So it could be that a lot of this is considered to be his hair. And, you know, of course, it's not the exact shape, but that's how this works. And then, you know, this is that coastline there, and this is the South Pole that they're holding, which, and it seems that the body, like the front of West Antarctica, is actually this island or islands right here, right alongside the Antarctic Peninsula. And then his butt, I'm guessing, is like either this or this. And they both apparently have big butts or prominent butts. I don't know. I mean, they don't even look that prominent in this, but I think they are relatively prominent because even in the spell addressed to this area, it seems to mention them. It says, like, my hind parts are the hind parts of basically this place, and my face is in Osiris, which is Afro-Eurasia. So anyway, that's fun. Finally cracked that one. I've now like deciphered about 45 to 50 of these gatekeepers. You know, here's another version where it shows the